Hey everyone, Akash here, and in this video we will learn what is atomic design and how to implement it in React. And friends, this video is going to be very much interesting and informative. So stay tuned and do watch this video till the end. So what is atomic design? Atomic design is a methodology for creating design systems. With the help of atomic design, you can break your UI and structure your folder in more modular way. And friends, before moving ahead, one small request. As we are moving closer towards 5,000 subscribers, your support would mean world to me. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And one more thing, that if you want to one-to-one connect with me for any guidance or mock interviews, then you can connect with me via this link. And yeah, now let's begin the video. Now let's understand the components, the different levels of atomic design with the help of the code. So as I've told you earlier, that with the help of atomic design, you can structure your folder structure in a more modular way. You can also break your UI in more modular way. So what we have done right now, this is a simple React boilerplate that I have initiated using npx create react app and the name of your app. So in this atomic design, we have 5 levels like atoms, molecules, organisms, pages and templates. So first of all, let's understand what is atoms. So you can say atoms is the smallest unit of matter. We all know atom is the smallest unit of matter, and in this we can say that atom is the smallest unit of our component, like basic components. For example, if I expand it, so as we can see, for example, we have button, we have logo, we have text. So these individual components like button, logo, text that we can use in another components, these are the atoms. So how we can folder our structure? We can do it something like this. We simply need to create one folder, that is atoms, and inside that we can simply place our components like button, logo and text. So we simply have our text.jsx, css, and ignore this stories.js for now. We will talk about it later. Now after atoms, okay, so I hope you have got an idea of what is atoms. Right now we are understanding it theoretically. After some time we will understand it via UI as well. Okay, so I hope you have got an idea about the atoms. Now we have molecules. So molecules is just a combination of atoms. So for example, I have told you that buttons, text, input box could be a part of atoms. Now inside the molecules we can have the combination of atoms like a card. A card could be a combination of text and a button, so it is a molecule. Similarly, we can have a header. So a header can be a combination of logo, text and buttons. So all these components could be a part of a molecules. Now after molecules we have organisms. So inside organisms we can say that organism is more high level component than molecules. So inside organisms we can have a combination of molecules, something like this. So over here we have a card list, and inside card list what we have done, we have simply rendered the card, and card is from our molecules by simply traversing the items array. Okay, so yeah, what you will have to do is whenever you will be getting some kind of a project that you have to make or some module, then you will have to find out on the basis of these principles that what could be best fit for atoms, molecules, organisms. Okay, so after organisms we have templates, and inside templates we can say that it is a combination of molecules, organisms, things like this. So we have a header from the molecule section, then we have a card list from the organism section, and at last we have pages, and page is the main page basically with which the user interacts. So over here we can write our logic, like let's suppose we have got this data from the API and we are simply passing it to this component that we have called from the template section. You can have a look over here, we are calling it from templates. Okay, so this is the high level idea of what is atomic design and how you can use it to structure your folder structure basically. Now let's run the project and let's have an idea. So it's not going to be very fancy project because it's just to give you, like I'm also beginner in atomic design only, so I'm just sharing my knowledge with you all. Okay, so this is a simple header and this is a card listing. Okay, so in your header you can see that we are breaking this UI, like we have the logo, text, buttons. So these all are individual atoms that we are using, and over here we have card listing. So this is the molecules, and these are the organisms, and this is the entire template that we are using within the page. So this is how it looks. Now what we are going to do, we will understand it in terms of storybooks. So friends, what is Storybook? So Storybook is a tool, or we can say a playground, in which you can develop your components in isolation. And for example, let's suppose you are creating some reusable component or a component library that will be used across different teams. So you can use the combination of Storybook plus Atomic Design to develop that particular thing. With the help of Storybook, the developers of other teams or other team members can play with the components that you are developing and can understand its look and feel by changing different data, different state and different props, even without having the entire knowledge of it. Now let's see how we can install the Storybook. I'm not going to install it right now because I have already installed it. So this is the command, that is npx storybook @latest init. With the help of this, you can have the Storybook in your project, and this will be added as a dev dependency inside this. Okay, something like this. And the latest version that we are using is 7.6.6. Now, once you have done this, after that what you have to do is you simply need to create the text.stories.js, basically file name .stories.js, and inside this you can simply create your story. So first let's run it. Let's have a look. So generally it's open on port number 6006. Okay, and over here, so it looks something like this. So we have these number of stories over here, and as you can see, we have atoms, molecules, organisms, pages and templates. So inside atom we have button, logo and text. So we can share this across different team members so that they can understand the components, their look and feel that we are developing. So let's suppose this is the text. So this is the heading. This is the one story that we have created. This is the another story, you can say. Basically, this is the story, but you can say this is the variant of it. So the user can play with it via this particular control panel that we have. Like let's suppose you want to change the name to like simple, let's say John. So the changes will reflect over here without even changing the code. And let's suppose you want to see the different version of buttons. So we have primary button, we have secondary, large, small. So this is how it looks. You can also change medium, large. So the actions are performing over here. Okay, so now let's try to understand the atomic design via Storybook. So we have these atoms, and as I've told you that we have these individual components, like basic components like button, logo, input box or text. Now after atoms, I have told you that we have a combination of atoms that is known as molecules. So we have this molecules, and inside these molecules I have this card. And as you all know that this is the text, this is a button. Okay, so it is nothing but a combination of atoms. Similarly, we have this header, like header, as we all can see. Cool. So it is also a combination of atoms like logo, text, different buttons. After this, we have organisms, and inside organism we can say it is a combination of molecules. So over here we have a combination of molecules, that is a card list. Inside template we can say that it is a combination of molecules plus organisms. So here we have header, we have the molecules, the card listing, and at last we have the page, that is the main page with the which user interacts. So over here also we have the card listing, we have the header section. I have tried to keep it less complex so that it is easier to understand. Okay, so this is the main thing of Storybook. Now let's have a look at the code also. It's not an entire tutorial on Storybook. I'm just trying to share my knowledge that I know. Okay, so yeah, so this is the text.stories.js file that we have to create after installing it. And over here what you can do is you can simply import React and your component of which you want to create a story. After that you simply need to export default. Over here you need to provide a title that you want over here. Let me show you, like atoms. If you want it inside atoms folder, then you can have that atom/text or else molecules. Okay, and I guess it's by default, transform it to the uppercase. And over here you can simply tell the component that it is the text that we have imported. After that you can simply create a function. Basically it's a kind of a template in which you are simply returning your component and passing the arguments, that is a props, to your actual text. Basically this is your text component that is taking nothing but a label and a type, and on the basis of these props we are simply rendering the UI. Then we have two sets of data that we have created right now. One is a simple data for subtitle and one is for heading data. Okay, and over here we have created two variants. One is the heading, another one is the subtitle. And over here we simply have this template that we are using. Okay, this is the function that we are using, and to this particular variant of our text we are simply passing this particular argument, that is heading data. Okay, and to subtitle we are passing this particular data. So you can also create different variants for this particular text. like heading, subheading, subtitle, caption, anything could be possible. So friends, let's have a look at one or two more stories to understand it in more better way. So in molecules, we have card.stories.js. So if I look at the card.js, we simple have a div inside which we have a text and a button. Okay, and it is taking title and button text as props. So if we have a look at card.stories, so once again, what we have done is we have simply provided one export default. That is, we are simply exporting the title and the component. So inside the storybook, we can see that inside molecules we have card, and this is our card component. So what data it will be needing is a simple title and a button text. Okay, and we are simply passing that to this card component. Cool. And you can also play with it like Happy New Year. You can do like something like Merry Christmas, anything, and it will, and the changes will be reflected. Okay, surprise, something like this. So this is how this looks, and you can also send a bunch of data as well. Like let's suppose in card list, if I have to look at the card list or stories, then over here what we are doing is we are simply preparing one array of object, and we are simply passing it to our data. So friends, I hope that I was able to make you understand all these things about storybook and atomic design and how to use it in your React project. So friends, I will wrap this video over here, and if you have learned something new, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.